Good evening and welcome to Brooklyn Pizza Bar. As you can see, we just have the last of the pizzas come down, and tonight we have three guys here to take on our 2020 challenge. We have Luke, Lawrence and Dan here tonight to take on our 20-inch pizza. Whole idea is it's a 20-inch pizza in 20 minutes. So far we've had 63 people take on the challenge and only 4 so far have managed to succeed. Do you reckon these guys can do it tonight? Please comment below, let us know your thoughts throughout the progress as they go on this evening. So the pizza literally just came down. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them cool for a few minutes so they don't burn their mouths off and give themselves a fighting chance. So what we're going to do is we'll go through, we'll meet our contenders. So we've got Luke. How are you doing this evening?
I'm hungry.
That's a good way to be when you're faced with a 20-inch pizza. So have you got any sort of tactics for this evening?
You have to wait and find out.
No, that's very fair. Keeping your cards very close to your chest. So now we've got Lawrence. How are you feeling this evening?
Very hungry.
Very hungry. Again, very good way to be. And have you got any tactics at all for this evening at all?
Sandwich or Swiss roll, one or the other. It's going to end up nice.
So it sounds like a side dish on the side to wash it down with. And Dan, how are you feeling this evening?
Yeah, getting hungry.
Getting hungry. And have you got any tactics at all this evening?
Swiss roller. Gonna go for the Swiss roller.
Fantastic stuff. So, as you can see, this evening we have got 3 very hungry contestants. Speaking to before, I know that they've held back a little bit on the food, a couple of them have today, to give themselves that extra room to take on tonight's challenge. Now, I have personally taken on this challenge twice before, and so far I've not been able to succeed. Something I don't want to have to admit on camera, but it's one of those things. I was the guinea pig to start with, and I was within a slice and a handful of crust at the end of it. So hopefully tonight these guys can put me to shame and they can do a bit better. So far, our record holder is Nathan Coles. He came down and he put an attempt in which I've never seen anything quite like it. He set a time of 14 minutes and 20 seconds, and honestly, I've never seen anything like it, and apparently he went to Nando's afterwards. How, I really have no idea, but it's one of those things that just defies belief. So, guys, feel free, keep an eye on your pizzas, have a quick feel underneath. You're allowed to separate the slices slightly if you want to use that as a trick to help it cool. Nothing else. I say we've had some people who've said, can I cut the pizza up into little pieces beforehand? That's pushing it a little bit, unfortunately. So, yeah. But no, for those of you who've never been down to Brooklyn Pizza Bar, we're based on 5th Street in Northampton. We've been here since the 8th of June, and basically our sort of focus is we're 2 friends, came up with a concept a few months back for this idea, developed it over Messenger, and we really sort of had a real passion and love for New York, the pizza, and also the Brooklyn brewery range which we can get out of there. So after many trips to New York, we came up with the idea, the concept, put some venues into the consideration, and thankfully enough, we fell upon this place. And so far, so good. We've been very pleased with the response we've had so far. And many of you have come down, and it's so great to see so many people come down and try the Brooklyn brewery range. So for those of you not come across the Brooklyn brewery range, it all starts off with the Brooklyn Lager. The idea of Brooklyn Lager is sort of the original sort of homebrew beverage. It's a gold amber lager, 5.2% in strength, and it is really crisp and refreshing. Perfect for a summer's day. So what we're going to do is check back with the guys. How are you getting on? All good? If you guys are that keen and are ready to start, then we can get going. Just want to make sure you're all happy. You all good? Okay then, so our contenders are ready. So, on your marks, get set and go. So it appears Luke is taking a very interesting sort of approach. You can see Luke is, well, he's not started eating, so technically Luke's he's behind at this point. He's decided to dismantle his pizza and have a play instead. I say Lawrence and Dan, they're off to a flying start. They've literally just dived straight in there. Both with a very sort of similar fold technique. Lawrence gone more for fold, Dan has gone more for the roll technique, as stated. And Luke he's still playing. It's all about the play. Okay, as we do. So Luke looks like he's trying to eat a spaghetti bolognese at the moment. Whether that's for tactic or not, we shall see. But I say, so far, off to a flying pace. And as you can see, I'm kind of getting away with a couple of cameras, so please ignore that one for a second. Perfect. So far, we're approaching the 90-second mark. It's hard to say how far Luke is in. It's a weird concept, so my commentary on Luke's attempt is going to be a bit interesting. But I say Laurence and Dan are both in a similar sort of position, neck and neck so far. Just about to complete their first slices each. Good pace so far, guys. Good pace. And I say, so you guys know, our challenge is open to anyone who wishes to take part. Idea is it's £25 per person. That is literally to take on the challenge. If you complete the challenge, that is completely free. And then you also get on our wall of fame upstairs. And then you also get one of our table beers to take home with you as well, or enjoy while you're here. Nice way to celebrate. Okay. Unsure if you guys can still hear me. We're just getting a bit of feedback. There's a bit of trouble with the link. If you're not experiencing any issues, fantastic stuff. So how are we looking, guys? So, on the plate, looks like about a quarter of the way in, both diving into their second slices. Again, Luke, it's hard for me to try and commentate on Luke's performance so far, purely because he's took an approach I've not seen. So, I've witnessed many of these challenges. Say 63 people have taken part in this challenge so far. And I've seen some very interesting sort of approaches. Outside the box thinking. Yes, it's a different one. As I say, it's a new approach. It might work for you. I say some of the sort of things I've seen before. I say the fold technique that Laurence taken. That's a familiar one to myself. I've seen that taken on many times. Again, with the sort of roll technique Dan's executing this evening, I've seen that a few times before. Very effective sort of method. Other techniques I've seen is I've seen people like to fold the pizza, stack the slices up on that side of things. Cutlery. Personally, I'm one who doesn't believe in cutlery of pizza. That's each to their own. But I have seen people really, really tackle it on and break it down into small pieces. Some people feel that small pieces are the best way to keep things moving. So if we look at the time, we're approaching nearly 4 minutes in so far. Let's quickly see how our guys are doing. So, Laurence, how are you feeling so far? Fantastic stuff. Dan, how are you getting on?
Yeah, everything good.
All good? Fantastic stuff. And Luke, is the pepperoni starting to get you a little bit yet?
Yeah, I'm a bit full.
Says a man who, Luke says he's a bit full, and that was a man who a few minutes ago was saying how hungry he really was. Now, I know for a fact that Luke has not been on solid food today. He's gone down the healthy, smoothie sort of route so far. Whether that's a sort of secret tactic, which he didn't wish to share with the other contestants earlier, unfortunately, I've just done so. But as I said, I've seen many of these attempts in the past. And I've seen varying sort of levels when people do intend to throw the towel in. I say one of the closest failures I think I've seen recently was a gentleman came down and he was literally had about 2 minutes left on the clock and he had half a crust left and he literally just gave in, just like that, completely threw the towel in. And that was shocking from our point of view, but he literally just completely hit that limit. And as I know when I've tried this challenge before in the past myself, it's a case of when you get to 2/3 of the way in, it does start to hit you. But no, so far all our contestants are going strong. As you can see, Luke, he's adopted the rolling method. So after dismantling many slices of pizza, attacking the pepperoni, he's now gone for the roll technique. That's an interesting concept. Let's see if that works out for him. So let's do a quick time check. We're doing safe. We're only 6 minutes in yet. 6 minutes. So if you take a look so far, we're about 3 slices apiece in. If you do the maths, we're in a good position so far. We're good for have a couple of minutes breathing space at the end of this challenge, these guys. It's all about keeping a consistent pace here, we find. So I've seen many people, they go like a bull in a china shop. Really, really attack it going forward, and then, unfortunately, they just hit a wall halfway in. But I was saying, our record holder so far is 14 minutes 20. So please comment below whether you reckon any of these guys are going to get close to that today. I say, personally, I'd like to say they're not quite within a shout just yet. If they keep the pace up and stay consistent where they are, they're in with a little bit of a shout, but naturally that wall does start to dig in with you. So say when I saw the attempt before, I think it was a case of Nathan's approach was he left the crust till the end, and the main bulk of the pizza he devoured in, I think it was about 7 or 8 minutes flat. As I said, something I've never ever seen anything quite like it. And then I think he got to the stage where he just relaxed with the crusts. So Luke there, he's got a side of a garlic mayo dip. That was a special request, and that's completely within the rules. I say we do state if anyone really likes to have any sort of sauces with the challenge to help break it down and change the flavours a little bit, that's completely within our guidelines. So say Luke's gone for a special request for garlic mayo dip. How's it going? Is that working well, Luke? Yeah, get in there. Perfect stuff. Okay, so as you can see here, we have got our table beers. So as I mentioned earlier, there is a prize for completing the challenge. So the idea is you get the challenge for free. You go on up on our Hall of Fame, and also you get one of our table beers. So here I've got the Brooklyn Local 2. It's a dark Belgian inspired ale, and personally one of my favourite beers on the, as part of a range. Real's got a sort of caramel texture that come through, and it's really, really sort of smooth drink. And I say on the side there, we've also got our Brooklyn Local 1. That's a gold Belgian ale. Really, really sort of tasty, and there are quite a few members of our staff. That's one that really, really shines through as a popular favourite. That and, well, of course, the summer ale. The Brooklyn Summer Ale is one of their sort of more seasonal products. And I say naturally, that's just coming to sort of end of its natural season. So, you know, we have made sure that we can extend that season as long as possible, purely because the Brooklyn Summer Ale is a drink that's gone down really, really popular here so far. So if you've not yet tried it, please come down and try what is literally described as a sunny pale ale. So it's basically sunshine in a glass. So we're approaching the halfway mark. I'm just getting a quick glimpse of the clock here. So we are just over 9 minutes in. Having a quick look. So Laurence looks like he's halfway through. Dan's just broke the halfway mark. He's on his 4th slice, crust on the side. Going at a strong pace still, very comfortable. And I say, in terms of Luke, it's, as I said earlier, it's hard to comment on Luke's sort of approach. But I'd say, in real sort of speak, I'd say Luke's about 3 slices in, maybe. So how are you all feeling, guys, so far, anyway? Jaw hurts. That's the thing, some people do tend to underestimate the 20-inch challenge. We've had a few people come in very, very confident, and they get within like the last couple of slices, and it just hits them like a brick, unfortunately. But no, so far, you're all in a good position so far. Although, as I said, it's hard to comment on Luke. But I say, Laurence and Dan, good, strong position so far. So is that a change of approach, I hear? No, that's fair. So that's been a very popular tactic in the past, saving some of the crust till the end. So it gives you the opportunity, you can really tackle the main bulk of a pizza. And then hopefully, if you've still got plenty of time, you can have some water, relax, and just go through the crust and tick off the last bits in the end. But I say now Laurence, he's past the halfway mark as well. Not a lot in it between these two contenders. And I say Luke's taken a very different strategy, so it's, as I said earlier, it's difficult to try and analyse Luke's attempts in comparison, unfortunately, at the moment. But I say the pace has dropped very, very slightly between the guys at the moment. We've just broke the 11-minute barrier, so just shy of 9 minutes remaining. So far in for a shout. As I say, keep commenting below on who you reckon's going to complete the challenge and what time you reckon. I say, if I was to put a personal guess on at the moment, it's hard to say. But I say, if all team members do keep the pace up, they are definitely within a shout. So I say the pace is starting to very, very gradually slow a bit. Come on, guys, you've got to keep the pace up. Ignore the fullness you're feeling and keep powering on. I say, we're all naturally gone very quiet, concentrating at the job in hand. Dan's now taking a big bite into his 6th slice. Good, strong position. Couple of crusts left on the side there. So Laurence has slowed slightly. Very sort of strong, consistent pace still. Not paused for a break, which is good. I find the best thing is to keep things moving. And Luke looks like he's at a very leisurely pace. Luke looks like the least phase here so far. So actually he's at a slightly different position, but he's just enjoying his garlic mayo dip so far. How are you feeling, Luke?
I'm going to save these ones for tomorrow.
That's fair enough. So Luke looks like he's trying to change his game plan entirely. So I get the impression Luke's not going to go for the full completion. He's changed his own personal goals here at the moment. But I say, you guys comment below whether you feel that's a foolish move. Feel the tension building. I say we're getting close. We've got 6.5 minutes left on the clock, guys. So if you picture that, 2 minutes a slice, really go on full attack mode, you're definitely well in for a shout. You see Laurence there analysing that sort of slice before diving in to pick it up. I say Dan's cautious on camera. He's trying to wipe his mouth as he goes. I say some of you guys might have seen Kate Ovens came down recently. She took on the challenge. I say unfortunately for herself, she's on a bit of an off day, so she wasn't successful on that attempt. But she went like a bull in a china shop off the mark. She really dived in. I say Dan's on the water, slowed his pace. Still nodding though, still in good spirits. So what we're looking at, so we've got just over 5 minutes remaining at the moment. You guys make sure you keep commenting below on how you reckon these guys are going to finish up when the timer comes to an end. Just over 5 minutes. We're all good. So we've got Dan and Laurence got about 2.5 slices apiece left to go. Luke, I think, he's assessed his own he's changed his stance slightly. Taking a sip of water, considering life maybe slightly. There we go. Nodding along quite happily at that one. Perfect. You've done over your halfway mark, though, yeah. That's a good position to be in. So I've seen people come down with a challenge, all full of confidence, and they can get 2.5 slices in and go, it's not for me today. Stop the timer, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the pizza. I say it's one of those things, you'll start it and that's when you'll know what sort of mindset you're going to be in today, whether it's going to happen or whether it's not. And I say, if we scroll back, probably, was it 6 or 7 weeks ago, It was just after we first launched this food challenge, and that was when it coincided quite closely with Mac and Cheese Day, and we did a mac and cheese pizza to go along with that. And we had a customer come in who actually asked if they could take on the challenge pizza, no timers or anything involved, but go for the mac and cheese option on the pizza. I say that was an interesting request, but honestly, the mac and cheese pizza was sensational. So I can't really blame the guy for wanting a whole 20-inch version. I say that was sort of quite afternoon, so I was very more than happy to facilitate on that one. But yeah. So while we're doing on the time front, we have got 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Pace has dropped. Come on, guys. If you think you're on roughly 90 seconds a slice, finish what's in your hand, dive straight in. It's the final home straight. If it gets to the last couple of minutes and it looked like it could be difficult to complete the challenge, would you be willing to go head to head and see who can do it between yourselves? No. There, Laurence is shaking his head. Yeah, I think everyone's starting to feel it. I say this is the sort of stage when you're 2/3 of the way in, where unfortunately the pizza does start to get the better of most. So it's the cheese that's getting to you. I say, so you guys know, some people have been in and tried our lunchtime slice option. So between 12 and 3 every day, we also do our lunchtime slices, and it's the same size pizza that our lunchtime slices come from. And I say, it's £3 a slice during the day. And I say that works really, really well. It's nice, drop in, grab a quick slice of pepperoni and go. I say all the guys are contemplating life a little bit here. Lars trying to shape that little bit of room into himself. I say we've got just over 2 minutes remaining, guys. 2 minutes remaining. So you guys comment below whether you think they're going to do it, how far you think they're going to get before the challenge comes to a close, sorry. So Luke's doubting his options here, whether he's going to complete that. Luke says he's going to struggle in 2 days on this one. Brilliant. So what's the timer saying? So we've got 90 seconds left. 90 seconds. I say, so far you guys are on the longest slice of your lives at the moment. Honestly, you guys are off to a flying start. You was doing a slice in just shy of 2 minutes apiece off the board. And I think I've seen you both have that in your hand for about 5-6 minutes apiece. That's when you can see the struggle is real. I say, as we approach the final minute, I think we can all see roughly where the outcome's going to be sat this evening. And I say, between Dan and Laurence, it's a very close to proceedings here. You're not doing it, Dan. I say, stranger things have happened. I say, as we're coming into a close here. Laurence is dusting off. And they all sit back to watch the timer count down. Take that glass. Are we going to get the final bites in before we come to a close? No. I say, we'll let the counter count down, sorry. Let this end officially. Just like Dan's going in, just to pick up the last pieces remaining. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Guys, that was a gallant effort. Trust me, I've seen many attempts of this. As I say, in 63 attempts, I've witnessed most of these, 2 of which were mine, in all fairness. I won't lie, I got fractionally ahead of you guys, but I do know how hard this challenge really, really is. Huh? Well, I say, unfortunately, I'd already stated from the off how far I got on my attempts, and I was left as guinea pig for this one, unfortunately. But no, guys, let's check back then. So I'm going to squeeze in here. Let's see Luke first. Go on, Luke. How are you feeling?
I'm just feeling like I've got my lunch sorted out for tomorrow now.
Well, that's a positive way of looking at things. I'm sure that can be arranged, yeah. But no, fantastic. So that was a good effort. It's a technique we've not yet seen before. Well, it was an interesting attempt, nonetheless. Definitely worth a try. Laurence, how are you feeling? It looked like it really, really sort of hit home towards about halfway through there.
Not feeling good.
Not good.
It's really nice, but my God, so thick.
So it's started to get the better of you.
Definitely.
As I say, that was a good attempt. I say you soldiered on through, but I could see in your face it was starting to really hit home a little bit early on in that challenge. But no, you persevered. That's a good place to leave it. And let's go around. Let's go see Dan. Let's see how Dan's getting on. Dan, I thought you was going to do that then. I've seen you do challenges before.
Totally. I didn't think I'd have it into me today, but I tried it.
I say it's a good effort. You've been after trying to do the challenge for a while. You got a benchmark. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. So as you can see, these three contenders unfortunately never completed tonight's challenge. Gallant efforts all round. Now, if you would like to come down and take on this challenge here at Brooklyn Pizza Bar, all you need to do is simply drop us a message or give us a call. I say our social media links will comment them below so you can find them there. If not, it is at BKLYN Pizza Bar. Find us on there, drop us a message, and you too can come down and take on our challenge. And maybe you'll be able to take on, succeed, and hit it to our wall of fame. See if you can beat the 14 minutes 20 record which currently sits on there. I know there's quite a few. Honestly, Luke, you say, how did he do that? I've no idea. I witnessed it, and I've never seen anything quite like it. He literally just devoured it. It was unbelievable. Yeah. I say, the baffling thing is, as well as I've seen him, he's came in since, and he did go to Nando's for his friend's birthday straight after. It's unbelievable. But, again, a gallant effort, guys. I say, if you would like to come down and take on the challenge, drop us a message, we can book you in, and you too could end up on our Hall of Fame and join the other 4 successful challengers so far. So, have we got any final words from the guys at all? Dan, be back. I'm not repeating that. And Luke likes pizza. Fantastic stuff. Now, I'd like to say a big thanks to the guys from Alpha Live for coming down this evening to broadcast this event. I say it's been a fantastic evening all round, and I look forward to seeing these guys back for an event here very soon. So, thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully we'll see you all very, very soon. Good night.